Hey, this is your girl, IkwerreGirl, actually, all the way from London, UK. Your only IkwerreGirl living in London. You can argue with yourself. We've had a break from the Musings, and because it was the end of the season. Now we are back. I had to just bust out and come out because there's been some hot gist going around and I couldn't miss out of it. What has been going on? Okay, first of all, before we go forward, there's going to be some new features. So in my channel, you'll see the join button, which means you can now become a member of my channel. Hooray! If you like say I won't blow. So you can become a subscriber of my channel, but you can also hit the join button, which makes you a member. So in the membership, obviously there's a monthly fee and stuff like that, which gives you access to special perks. If you hit the button, you will find out what they are. Also, there is a special video designed to teach you what the membership is about. So check out that video so that you understand so much about what the membership is about. Right. Are you ready to muse? Are you ready to muse? I'm a ninja. I'm a ninja. I'm a ninja. Okay, what's going on in my lovely Nigeria? My brothers and my friends, the journalists, have not had it easy in the last couple of weeks. I mean, 3 weeks ago, FFK had an altercation. Well, not an altercation, but had an argument, an outburst with the journalist who asked the question, all right? And he just blew up. I will go hard on you. I don't take stuff like that. I will go hard on you. But what's going on? People have complained and yeah, he's come off his mighty horse and he's done an apology. People are saying, yeah, we'll take the apology. Some people are saying, no, the apology is rubbish. Go and sort out your anger management issues. But you know what was quite interesting? And he said that in his speech when he was making his apology. Why did FFK actually give an apology? Was it because he was sorry? Was it because he realized that what he did was wrong? Was it because he just wanted to, I don't know, trend a bit more or whatever? Listen to the apology. Listen to the apology. Now, my friend and brother, the journalist, was no ordinary journalist. Apparently, he was a bishop in Olumba.
Jesus is Lord.
Now, how did FFK have this information? And he mentioned it. Is it because you have stepped on the head of a python and you did not want to be beaten?
Hey!
So he's made an apology. He tendered an apology publicly, even though he went on and on and on trying to justify why he did what he did and didn't do what he did, and how he was insulted and he was provoked and he reacted, whatever. The point is, the journalist is a bishop in Olumba. You were scared. The other thing about the whole issue with the journalist and FFK is, when you made the apology, did you give him dash as well? Because I come from a country where to settle this kind of matters, you have to bring this thing. Still back at the journalist, right? Obviously now, when the Daddy Gio says that journalism is a rubbish profession.
Jesus!
Seriously. So there's been this ongoing issue with Daddy Freeze and David Oyedepo and Bishop Ibiyeomie. Right, it's not even with Bishop Oyedepo, because Bishop Oyedepo has said, do not speak on my behalf. Now, Daddy Freeze said some things, right? And if you don't know what he said, I will show you. Now, the reaction to this is this.
Come tell Daddy Freeze. Did I hear him talk about Oyedepo again? If I don't finish him. Insulting me, I won't, but insult Oyedepo. That bastard! Tell him any day I hear him talk about Oyedepo. Do they know his father? That the Freeze has a father. Who is his father? That half caste who is born by Somalian. Did I hear him insult Oyedepo again? I will deal with him. Oyedepo may not talk, but I can't their life insult my father. If that, who gave birth to him? If he has a father, let him show us his father's picture. Somebody they gave birth to in the sheep. Does he look like a Nigerian? That's a Somalian. If I hear him insult father with my father again, Oyedepo may not talk, but I come their life, you insult my father. Come their life. I cause today was born. I will tear you. I will tear you to pieces. I will tear you to pieces, you bastard. It's a bastard. It's a bastard. Does he have a father? Who's his father? Let him show his father's picture. If he has a father. A man who cannot marry. He has no wife. He can't manage his home. He's coming to talk on television. Is it not his wife who left him? Huh? A man who has a broadcaster. He doesn't have a good job. I'll kill you. I'll tear you to pieces. Very soon, I will arrest him. Next one, I will charge him. I will see which money he has. I will charge him to court. I will follow him law. I will follow him spiritual. I will fight him till he clash. I'm gonna say, I'll fight that man to a point that he will say, which kind of trouble is this? I will arrest him. I'll go to court. How much does he have? Somebody who was a newscaster. Would they pay? How much they pay? He's taken in Lagos. They've sacked him even. Okay. It's not sacking now. He will go to cemetery. Lift your hands, let's close.
Now tell me, how is this reaction justified in any way? Now, what I like about stuff like this, that when you bring in religious leaders and stuff like that, people just go mental. Their fans, it becomes a battle. Everyone throwing fire at each other. It is very interesting what the followers say. So obviously, the response to Daddy Freeze calling out a message or a teaching say, it is not just only for women to submit, but for men to submit as well. That was the trigger. But to justify the outburst of that daddy, David Ibiyeomie, what they've done is to pull out a video from 2.5 years ago where Daddy Freeze was just absolutely mental and said this is why their daddy is reacting. So to be honest, the video from 2 years ago is not why he was reacting. Nah, it's not. That's something else. And when Daddy Freeze has come out to apologize, he made it clear that 2 years ago, 3 years ago, he was a bit like, youthful exuberance and he used to talk anyhow. But then he's matured and moved forward from that point where he argues scriptures with scriptures, and which biblically, there's nothing wrong with that. You have people saying, how can this riffraff come and argue with the Son of God who has studied the Bible in and out? Seriously, even Jesus Christ, they argued with him now. Come on. So, if you want to dissect the response from Pastor David Ibiyeomie, it is just absolutely, I find it hilarious. And what I tell people is that, when Paul preached, right, and I don't want to go into preaching because trust me, I'm going to be on this thing for a while. This is the coming back episode. You see, when Paul preached in Galatia, he said to them, be like the Berean Christians. Be like the Bereans. Because when we talked to them about scriptures, when we brought the gospel to them, you know what they did? They went back and they studied. They studied to verify. The issue we have today in religion, Christianity for instance, is that we just take whatever we've been spoon-fed. Even if the person is lying out of their teeth, you just take it and run with it. You don't study. Study to show yourself approved. A workman that needed not be ashamed, rightly dividing the truth. And besides, you got the chest of spirit. Now, another thing that I find quite upsetting and unsettling is, without sentiments, put your sentiments apart. If you are to extract the vocals, and turn it to an MP3 of Pastor David Ibiyeomie and play it to anyone and say, can you guess where this came from? You are a bastard. You was born on the sheep. You this, you that. If anybody heard that, right? Just the MP3 without knowing who was who. Do you really think that they would liken that voice and that message to a pastor? They probably say it was coming out of a bear parlor or an occult meeting where they were planning to execute and exterminate their enemies, or a cabal meeting or stuff like that. Bible says by their fruits you will know them. Second thing I wanted to draw your attention to, I hate to sound like this because it's getting very religious now. People give examples. Elijah, God of Elijah, send down fire, Lord, send down fire, Lord. Do you know what? There's no man like Elijah that's walked this earth. Which is why even when Jesus came, they said Jesus was Elijah. If you can call down fire from heaven, do it. Elijah did not call anybody bastard. Elijah did not call anybody a mad dog, like Paul and Nietzsche said. Very disappointing, by the way.
By the mad dog called Freeze. Mad dog emphasized. Young men spoke against Elijah. The curse of the Lord overran them.
He called down fire. Call fire, let us see. People justify this act by saying some children laughed at Elijah and he called down a bear and the bear model of them. Still Elijah. If you can call down a bear, call it. Okay, for lack of bears in Nigeria, which we don't have, shortage of bears, and we just don't have it in that region, we can manage a hyena. Command the hyena to go and attack. Better still, if you can't find the hyena, let's say the northerners have carried all of them to do amusement park. We manage the Agama lizard. It's all over. Command the Agama lizard too. Command the beast too. If you can. Just like it's not about curses. Now, secondly, a wise man once said, and I don't want to state him, where is my brother, China Achiru? He once said, if a madman is attacking you and is insulting you, and you go forward to fight with a madman, and people see these two people fighting, when they look at them, they'll say, who then is sane? Do you understand? When adults begin to act like children, or sane people begin to act like crazy people, then that is who you are. There's no difference. You're both a bunch of insult spewing, whatever you call yourselves. Even the one was decent enough to come and tender an apology, and then the other one, his people said, when they were asked the question, is your daddy going to do the same thing by tendering an apology for foul language and all of those insults. They said, never! How can he do that? Instead, he has brought him to order. Hey! You gotta love church people. You gotta love church people. Now, we have other people justifying this act by saying, Peter drew a sword out when they came to arrest Jesus. He was defending his father in the Lord, and he slashed off the soldier's ears. So, Pastor David Ibiyeomie, it should be your members being all like, hey, this and that, and you should be saying, calm down. We don't act like that. We're civil. Oh, Jesus cursed the fig tree. Is that the fig tree? He's a human being. Okay? Oh, Jesus went into the synagogue and he was there, you brood of vipers, woe unto you, selling in my father's house. Hey, Jesus. Jesus wasn't lying. They were selling. They were selling in his father's house. They were doing all kind of random nonsense. And besides, they were vipers. They were a brood of vipers. And that's a figure of speech. He wasn't saying that they are snakes. It was a figure of speech. When you say someone's got no father, lies out of the pit of hell. You understand? So you line out of the altar. The altar of God was actually defiled. And people were shouting, amen! He's a amen! He's a thief! Amen! He's gonna go into the cemetery! Amen! You gotta love church people. Seriously. Now when you justify that kind of behavior and vile language coming out of a man of God, what if there were children in there listening to that? What is the example? That is the way to speak? Oh my goodness, what has this world come to? You are responding to someone who has a webcam, $5 webcam probably, I don't know, broadcasting out of his bedroom. No harm done. People literally have to log in to hear what Daddy Freeze is saying. You have a massive media coverage. You're on national TV, you're everywhere, people broadcasting everywhere. Cable TV, live. You're spewing all these things. What is the example? And then, you understand? But anyway, you know what? To wrap it up, what can I say? As I say, fruit don't fall far from the tree. I am not surprised at the responses from the members that are saying this and that. Come on. The next episode here, I'm going to be reading the responses from the members. It's hilarious. I'm not surprised at the way the members react. If your leader spews out threats of violence, spews out curses, intimidates people, then I expect nothing less from you, because that is your leader. That is where you get your guidance from. Also, a leader that can act in that manner against someone who tried to dialogue scriptures, that you do not stand in the same pathway as them, they will threaten your life as well. They will spew curses on you as well. I'm not really bothered about the curses anyway, because it's not like, come on, Daddy Freeze has not dropped down now. Neither has anybody dropped down. So what are you talking about? But to wrap it up, since we are all standing with our Daddy Gio, I'm going to stand with my Daddy Gio right now. You know who my Daddy Gio is? Ogini Nafio. I stand with Odumeje, the lion himself. Eat that boski. What are you talking about? Liquid fire. Who are you? Who are you? But like I said, this is my message. This is my view. This is my platform. And I said how I feel about the matter, my reaction to it. If you don't like what I've said, argue with your ancestors. Go and argue with your ancestors, okay? One love. I'm a ninja. I'm a ninja. I'm a ninja. Right, my name is IkwerreGirl coming to you from London, UK. Your only IkwerreGirl living in London. If you watched my last video, I may have said things in the video that I shouldn't have said, which may have offended some people. So I just want to say that I am absolutely unapologetic about anything I said. I'm a ninja. I'm a ninja. I'm a ninja.